Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we are not going to be looking at this car right here. That's actually perfect timing. I'm going to get out of this car because today we're going to be looking at 3 cool cars that I think should be part of a future DLC for GTA 5. One of them is just a slightly tuned version of a car we've already got. One is a cool race car version of a car that we've already got in GTA 5. And one car is actually completely new for GTA 5 at least. The car is actually existent in another game, but I'll explain myself better in just a second. So before we look at these 3 awesome cars, if you're into sort of like Japanese tuner cars, especially stuff from like the 80s, early 90s, I think you're going to really like the cars in this video. So before we get into all of that, there's going to be some comments and questions on the screen. If you would like your comments and questions featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. And I'm really just sort of like getting to the final part where I'm going to keep reminding you guys about this, because the sign-ups is going to end up really soon. But if you would like to get a loot crate, because this month is going to have Rick and Morty and Bob's Burgers stuff in it, because the theme is animation, you can get a loot crate by going to our sponsors, lootcrate.com/Figureight, and using the code FIG8 for 10% off. So, what cars are we going to be looking at today? Well, I'm not going to show them all in one go. All I'm going to say is that they're going to get gradually more awesome as the video goes on. I'm going to start off quite basic and simple. So the first car is this one on the left, and it's basically just a rehash of the original Futo that we have on the right here. It's basically like a racing version that's sort of stripped out, and it's got some cool racing decal livery things going on, and you can make it look like a rally car or a touring car or something like that. And it's one of these things that I thought would be really cool that Rockstar could do. It's just sort of take cars that are already in the game and just make kind of like stock car versions, racing car versions, rally car versions, touring car versions, all that sort of thing, because I think it's something that's, I'm not going to say simple, because that feels like I'm going to discredit the mod makers here, but they've done a really good job with this. But it's not like they're having to recreate whole entire brand new cars that they're having to design. They can just work on the cars that are already there and just make more awesome versions of them, just so that there's loads more tuning options for what's already there. I mean, obviously we do have the mods that can give us this, but for the poor sods that are watching this video that only have consoles and can't really mod their game, you could be missing out on all these awesome cars. So as you can see, this is the one on the left. It's slightly different. It's got, I would say, smaller wheels but bigger tyres on this one, and a slightly higher suspension, slightly raised, because obviously it's supposed to be like a racing car. And as you can tell, unlike the Futo, which is all nice and quite civilized in here really, this one is really stripped out and is completely like a race car. It's got all the racing seats, it's got all of the roll cage, we've got the dashboard and stuff going on here, we've got, I still don't know what this is supposed to be. Is that a CB radio? I think it's some sort of, I guess that works for rallying, wouldn't it? Because obviously you'd have the radio stuff going on in your earpiece. And basically just loads of cool racing stuff on there. And obviously we have on the outside the liveries. Visually, not much has really changed other than that. I mean, this one doesn't have a spoiler. There might be an extra for that. We'll check in a second. It's still got the sort of like curved up license plate that the original Futo has. And then on the front, there is a little change, because this one has the full front bumper and this one has the bumper sort of all cut out. Other changes can be found under the bonnet. So this is what the original engine looks like on the Futo. It's still got the ITBs going out, sticking out there. And it's got a relatively 3D engine, but it looks a bit plain and boring. But this one over here has got a nice shiny block. I believe this is from the Sultan RS. I mean, the RS badge sort of like gives it away. But there you can see it's also got the strut brace going on. We've got the panel filter and stuff going in. Looks pretty awesome. And then in the boot of this one, we've got a nice fuel cell, whereas the other one just has a plain old boot. So what options do we have for tuning? Well, actually, there's nothing in the Lowrider Mods section. Then there's the wheels that are not really going to change, because I think these will suit that car perfectly. And then on the hood, we have the stock hood, a carbon hood, and then a vented carbon hood. The only problem is the vented carbon hood does have a bit of engine sticking out. Bit of a shame. They could have made the engine just a tiny bit lower, but it doesn't really matter, because I'm not really a big fan of that look anyway. I actually think because of all the amazing liveries on this, I'd want to keep it so that I can see the liveries on the bonnet. Apart from that, we've got all the usual engine, transmission, suspension tuning, all that sort of stuff, paints, neons, doors, windows, Let's see what we've got on the extras here. So on extra 4, what's this going to be? Yes, extra 4 is this bit down here. Just that small bit there that hides the ECU sitting behind. That's a nice little interior extra. For extra 3, we've got these awesome headlight covers. Get a load of that. I think they might work with the liveries. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to check that out. Maybe it's like a secondary color. I'm going to keep those on so we can find out in a minute. On extra 2, we can also turn this into a rally version. So this is like, what would this be, like a touring car sort of thing? And then we can get rid of that, and then we can have the proper rally car version. I've also noticed that this one has got the spare wheels in the back as well. That is a cool touch. And then for extra 1, this actually puts the spoiler back. So we aren't actually really missing the spoiler at all. In fact, this spoiler is rubberized, whereas this one is color-coded. So there's your extra right there. Slightly different. Well, on the first one, I'm going to go for touring car because I want to see what these amazing liveries look like. So I'm just going to go for this little headlight cover thing on here. And then let's go to liveries. Let's start from the beginning. So number 1 is actually plain. In fact, completely plain without this thing on the side. Just completely bone stock plain looking. Then we have this one, which just gives us a green bonnet. This is like a really simple one, I guess, with just a couple of little sponsors here and there. Really basic one. Oh, I've just noticed. Does have exhaust on the side. I don't think this one did. No, this one had the exhaust on the back. This one, it's still got the cutout. That's still there, but the exhaust is now on the side. So the next livery is this one. This looks very... is this rally? I don't know. This seems more rally than sort of like a stock car look. So also now you can see that we've got an actually aspirated inline 20-valve rear-wheel drive badge that this one had. Then we move on. We've got this one. I like the look of this one. That is nice. That is real nice. I like that. Then we have this one, another sort of Carrion Performance, or Carrion Automotive actually racing, different colour, different number. Then we have this one. This looks nice. This looks kind of touring car-esque. Actually, it's really hard to say because I haven't really looked at a touring car in a long time. Then we have this one, another version of that same decal. Again, different number, different colour. Oh, we actually have different number colour versions of this one as well. Oh, that's nice. I like that. So I think we got like 3. Oh, no, actually, we have got more styles going on. We've got this one right here, number 54. I mean, we have got the black color. We can change the black. It's not going to be black and white. I believe it's just the white stripes and stuff that are the decal and everything, or the livery and everything else is actually just paint. Then we have this one right here. This is the Endo, number 22. That's quite nice. Quite like the look of that one. And then that is all of them complete. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this one because I really like the look of this, but I'm going to change the paint color because I'm not really feeling that going with the black. Actually, it's not too bad with the black, but it could be better. So as you can see, the liveries aren't completely all set to one color. You can still change all the colors around it. But actually, now that I'm going through the colors, I'm realizing that black actually looked quite good with this. All the other colors sort of clash. And then on the secondary, I'm hoping this is going to change the headlight covers. Let's see. Ah, it does. Oh, it also changes the inside as well. That's interesting. But what we could do is go for something like a red. Can we get something that would match the color scheme of this thing? Maybe an orange would work, actually. See, this orange will work. Or actually, this one. I think this one is a better shade. Although it does make the interior look really bright with the orange going on the inside. But actually, that's going to be it for this car. I think that's all we really have to check out. You could probably do a rally-style version as well. But, well, let's move on to the next one, shall we? Because this one really doesn't have much going on. Whereas the next one has a lot going on. And here we are in the second one. Now, you can probably tell from this sound, those wing mirrors, that massive sun strip, the stripped out interior with all the things. Whoa, blocked. That was... I probably should have looked where I was going. This probably tells you that this car is not anything ordinary. This thing actually looks absolutely amazing. Let me just pull over here. I'm going to spawn in a stock version of this car, and you're going to see just how damn amazing this looks. Check this out. So the car that I was driving was a blister, but it looks nothing like this original one. Here it is. Get a load of this. This is a time attack version of the Dinker blister. Now this is just going on in a much more extreme way about how you can get the cars that are originally in this game and turning them into something utterly incredible. Just get a load of this. This thing, it just looks stunning. All the way around, it looks so hardcore. So damn cool. I'm absolutely in love with this thing. I mean, the blister's already cool. It's based on an old sort of like late 80s, early 90s CRX. But my God, the racing version, the time attack version, just looks so awesome. I'm in love with this thing. So let's just go around and check out some of the details of how this has changed. Well, obviously, this front end, completely different. We've got a sort of like smooth bumper going on. All the lights are blocked up. All the grills blocked up as well. We've got this massive, huge splitter down here. It is a lot lower than the original. It's got some really nice wheels in it. We've got a bit of tyre poking up. I'm sure we'll fix that in a minute with some V-stancer. I won't go and camber it, don't worry. We've got all this going around on the side. We've got this nice vented bit on the arch there. That's really cool. Then we've got this bit. How does this compare? I think none of that was there. All of this side bit here, including this bit, is all new. And then on the rear bumper, it's actually been cut off. The number plate is actually sort of like hiding back there as well. It's just all cut off from the bottom bit. And then we've got this massive, huge wing. And also this bit. What is this? I think that's like a carbon fiber panel that's supposed to block it in. Again, on the interior, as you can see in the original one, there's a lot of stuff going on. We've got the radio, we've got all the heating, all of that. But in this one, it's, well, the dashboard's there, but everything else is gone. All the sort of vents have been taken out and just put in like some carbon fiber panels. It's rather quite simple in here. Although I will say, it's interesting that it's still got the original road seats in there. Maybe we'll be able to change those out for something a bit more extreme in a moment. So how does everything else compare? Well, actually, this bit hasn't really changed that much. It's still got the original 3D engine. There's no extras. There's no sort of like strut brace or anything that we had on the previous Futo. Nothing has really changed there, which is quite interesting. Would it be nice to see a bit more difference? But again, I always say this, but at the same time, I barely ever look under the bonnet, so it doesn't really matter. But it's always nice to see a nice detailed engine, but I thought it looks great. And then on the back, it's pretty much the same. So underneath, it's all very much identical. It's all on the exterior where this thing is completely different. I've also just noticed the bonnet's got some nice vents that this one doesn't have as well. Right, so actually I've chucked this on the road for a second because that little bit of wheel sticking out was probably just because of the way that it was positioned on this hill. On flat road, it looks utterly perfect. So let's go and have a look at what we can do on this thing. So let's go to menus, customs. So we have the wheels. Again, I don't really feel the need to change them, but I do have the law-friendly wheels mod added, so I could actually just go mad and add something really cool. But I don't actually, they all suck so far. Actually, these ones are all right because these have got the nice racing centers on them. Yeah, that sort of works. Ooh, these all look really nice, actually. I might go for something like that on this one. And then on the exhaust, we've got, let's just go around here. So then we have our stock. Then we have the dual exit, the big bore with the titanium tip, and then the race exhaust. It would be nice if we could have had a big bore without the titanium tip, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go for the dual exit exhaust on this one. Then on the chassis, again, this is where the interior is going to change. There we go. Now we've got the matching interior. So we have the racing seats, and then we've got all the roll cage going in as well to make it look a lot more like a racing car. Then on the hood, we have the stock. We have the carbon hood, and then we have the vented hood with this little bit sticking out there, which is pretty cool. Well, I do really like that original one. I like how those vents look, especially because it's an older car. Oh, but this one does have a badge on it, and I am a big fan of badges. Do you know what I'm going to keep that stock because I really like how that looks with those vents. So let's just keep that stock. And then it's just a case of tuning the engine, brakes, transmission, suspension, everything else like that. In fact, what does it look like with it all to the ground? Oh, it does actually glitch there, but it's okay because we just quickly go and add a tiny bit of camber. There we go. That's that fixed. Then onto the extras, we've got a nice selection. All of them have actually been turned on, so let's just go ahead. So this is what it actually looks without those headlight covers. You've got to add those instantly because without it, it looks kind of weird. That looks so damn cool. Then extra 5 is the sun strip. I'm actually going to should I go without it? I mean, I've actually sort of got used to how it looks with it now as a race car. We have got some liveries to look through, so I'm actually going to keep that in. Then we have this one, which has the big spoiler, because again, you could actually have it without it if you wanted. You could make this sort of look like a street racing version of a blister in some way. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a time attack one, but again, I want the big spoiler because it looks damn cool. And then the other extra basically just covers up the sunroof, which actually is quite nice that we can have that option though. Don't really get that option enough with these cars. Nice to see that we can have that one blocked or unblocked. But I'm going to keep everything on as it was spawned in. So moving on to the livery then, and actually this livery's not showing. I'm pretty sure actually it might be in the Benny's Lowrider Mods section. Hang on. Yes, here we go. So there's only 3 different liveries, but they are pretty cool looking. So we have the stock, which is just basic solid colour. Then we have Dinker Power, which also brings in the blue as well, so you can definitely change these colours around. This looks very similar to the colour scheme that we had on the Futo, actually. Do quite like that. Then we have the Zero Racing. Ooh, that's nice. I think we might have to change the colour of these just to get a better look for them as well. And then we have FF Works, which really doesn't add that much. It's just got a couple of little logos, little number going on. But other than that, a couple of small little decals. But generally, not much going on. So actually, if you wanted just a couple of little bits, but you wanted it generally a solid colour, FF Works looks pretty nice. What I'm going to do, actually, because I think that this blue is going to be the bit that changes on this one. I'm actually quite excited about the idea of this one. So let's go to Paints. And let's go to Primary, Classic. Yes. Oh, it even changes the colour of the headlight covers. Ooh, that is nice. So we can actually go for something like, well, maybe a yellow wouldn't work because we've already got a yellow. Or actually, maybe it'll make it blend in even more. Yeah, there we go. Race Yellow. See, Race Yellow really blends in with that other yellow colour. Well, actually, no, it doesn't really work with the white. Actually, let's be honest. Oh, this is an interesting colour scheme. This green here with that yellow actually doesn't look too bad. I reckon a purple or a blue would work really well with this one. Gasoline green looks quite nice with it, to be honest. Do you know, all of these colours actually look really nice. It's just a really nice design. But there you go. Something like the Spinnaker purple or the Shafter purple. Both look actually really nice with the yellow. And if we're to change to the other one, actually, the purple definitely doesn't look that great with that one. That would probably actually just look better with a white. Yeah, that white actually looks really nice on this one. Or even just that cream sort of kind of works. I just noticed I think I accidentally hit the auto upgrade button because I seem to have changed the bonnet. And I think the, oh yeah, the exhaust has changed as well. Don't know what happened then. I got really bit touchy with the buttons. So actually for this design one, I don't want to go with a livery. I really like the Zero Racing one, but actually I really like how this looks in just solid colour. So actually this is really interesting in beige. That is a really curious colour to go with this. But I'm thinking something like a deep red. I am just really feeling a deep red at the moment. So what have we got here? I mean, even the metallics just look really nice with this one. Sunset red, Cabernet red. Oh, see, that's nice. I am liking that. Candy red. Oh, okay, that's actually a little bit brighter than I was thinking. But that actually really suits this car. And also, let's go ahead and change the colour of the wheels as well, because I reckon, because that's going to have the chrome outside, we could probably get a matching candy red. Ooh, look at that. That is nice. That is nice. I'm liking that. I think that is a job well done. I don't think there is anything else we can do to this one. We can stick on a turbo or anything like that. But apart from that, that's it. Oh, this sounds nice. This sound matches this car perfectly. Right, so it's probably time that we move on to the finale. The big one, the new car, the fresh car you've never seen before. Actually, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen it before, because I have been tweeting recently about, I was just driving around GTA at night. I just wanted just the fun. Oh dear. I completely ruined this thing. This did not take much to be completely damaged. Yeah, recently I decided to just turn on GTA 5, turn the radios back on, turn all the, like, because normally I like stick to the, like, the same weather, same time. I turned all that off. I went in single player mode, and I picked up the car that we're about to check out, and I just drove it around for ages. So I've actually been tweeting out this car already, but you will also recognize it if you play BeamNG. Let's take a look. And here it is. This is, as you might be able to recognize, the Ibisu Covette from BeamNG. But the thing is, it was one of these cars, like a lot of those BeamNG cars, if anyone's actually made any other BeamNG cars like this, then I'd really like to know. Because, again, they actually work with the lore of GTA 5 and the fact that they don't look like any other car. I mean, they look like they're influenced by a car, like this one is clearly influenced by the Honda CRX. This one is obviously influenced by the Civic EF of the same era. But it also looks kind of like, it's like a, what are you thinking, like Suzuki Swift a little bit of Honda Civic. So again, this car, although it's made for BeamNG, just matches the scene of GTA 5 absolutely perfectly, as if this was a car that was always made and intended to be for GTA 5. But what the mod maker has done is he has made this fit in with the lore even better by adding this same badge that is, have we got it on this one? Yes, we do. This is the Dinker Flash. Just like we got the Dinka blister there, here we have the matching Dinka. So actually, let's just check what's in the boot. There's actually nothing in there. Not really much of a back seat at all, really. There is a little one, but not much in the way of legroom. And then on the front, we got this nice, again, it's the same engine that we get out of the blister. Pretty much the same, but it's still got the Dinka engine thing on it. So it all works with the law of GTA 5. It doesn't say Ibishu Covet anywhere on this. It still has the same invariable valve timing badges that we had on. I don't think this one has it, does it? Oh, it does have it, although it's just a bit damaged. Then on the interior, again, is very similar interior. I think this is the same one that's out of the Futo, isn't it? Looks very similar. Might be the same that's out of this one, actually. Yeah, they're all very much similar. So, let's just check out menus custom. So in Lowrider Mods, we have absolutely nothing. On the wheels, well, the wheels that it comes with, you actually have to add these in a little bit extra because normally they come with a different set of wheels. These wheels look really, really nice. But again, I've got the Law-Friendly Wheels mod, and there's actually a wheel that I found that you probably would have noticed in the pictures I posted up on Twitter recently. It's in the Lowrider section, I think, or was it? I think it's Lowrider. Because the problem is, this car suits these sort of like small wheels with big tyres, and that would normally work if you were to go for the tuner wheels, but with this new mod, most of these tuner wheels are just way too big. I think they're awesome looking wheels, but it would have been nice if they could have been a little bit smaller with the thicker tyre. So none of them really suit this car perfectly, although I'm sure some of you would actually prefer to have these wheels on there. But if we were to go to Lowrider, there is actually just one round here somewhere. We could actually use those, actually. They were pretty cool. Here we go. These ones. We've got either got the chrome versions or we have the non-chrome right here. And I think these wheels suit this car absolutely perfectly. So moving on, we have the spoiler. So we have the stock spoiler, which is actually just the non-existent spoiler. Then we have the low-level spoiler, which actually looks really nice with this car. Suits it really nicely. And then we have this one, which is just a little bit bigger, but I think it just perfectly suits this car. Both of these spoilers look really nice on this thing. So I'm going to go with the nice larger wing. Then on the exhaust, we have the stock, just this nice little piddly one. Then we have the big bore, then we have the race. Again, it would have been really nice if this big bore had the nice standard silver textures without the titanium, because I'm not really a fan of the titanium textures in this game, as I keep pointing out. But I'm still going to go for that one anyway. Oh, alright, actually, sod it. I'm going to go for the small one because I'm just really not into it. Then on the chassis, we can go, well, actually standard, it just looks pretty much like that. But then if we change this, it's going to give us this roll cage, and it's going to give us these racing seats in the front. I mean, that looks really cool, but I wanted to make this sort of like a street racer car, so I'm going to keep that stock for this one. Then on the roof, we have the sun strip, which I didn't really do when I was playing with this the other day, but I'm going to keep with this one for now, because we have got some liveries. Maybe that will change. Then that's pretty much it for all of those visual things. We've got the engine tuning, brakes, transmission, suspension. We can knock that down. Paints, windows, emblems, extras. We have, well, down here, this is going to be where the bumper stuff is. So we've got our nice little lip spoiler there, rubber lip spoiler. We have, what else is this? Ah, yes, on the back, this really awesome heck blender in the middle here. I'm still not entirely sure what the, I guess, middle reflective panel. It's always nice to call them a heck blender. One thing I will note that I have noticed is that the reflections of that middle panel do not match the reflections of the rest of the lights. I mean, here actually it doesn't look too bad, but I have noticed it in some lighting situations that this middle bit just looks completely different to the brake lights, which is kind of a bit of a shame, but it still looks awesome. I absolutely love it. I mean, it still looks pretty cool with the black in the middle, but that's perfect. Then for extra 5, we can make this into a proper racing car with the netting going on, and also these little carbon fiber wind deflectors. But again, that's not really going to match the theme of this car. Maybe I'll make another one in just a second. And then we have this one, which is the painted version of that bottom splitter. I'm going to go for the rubber one. So, liveries. Let's start with the first one, which is basically just this. It says flash down there, and the rest of it is nice and clear. Then we move on to number 2. And it's a proper racing one that we got. So we've got all like the Dinka stuff here, all the big Dinka badging going on. Dinka Flash Hyper Dynamic Sports. My Mac logos. We've got some nice little Dinka. Even got the katakana that says Dinka on it next to it as well, which is pretty cool. The Fujiwara, Fukado. This is like a proper... Oh, what is the name for this? Like, this is actually like this was a racing car livery, but in Japan they also had this as like a tuning style where they would get these Civics. Is it like... Oh, I think they... When they're called Kanjo racers, they used to rate they were like famous for riding on this highway in Osaka. And they always used to have these like really cool liveries that look like this that I've seen. I'm not sure if all of them did, but I'm pretty sure I saw something somewhere where they had street racing cars that had this sort of livery on it. So I think that looks really awesome. It looks really 80s, or actually very 80s, early 90s in its design as well. Really basic, not like sort of overdone in any way. Then we have this one, which again, this actually looks quite old school as well. Flash, access, cell tower. Again, really nice racing thing. All of this white, again, can be changed for a different colour. Then we have this one. Ooh, this is very similar to the style of the Futo that we looked at earlier. With these sort of like 3 stripes here. It does look like the German flag a bit, or the Belgian flag, depending on which way you look at it. Interesting. I'm actually really a big fan of that. Then we have this one right here. Another one. This is sort of like, instead of like completely all the way over, it's just a nice little bit on the bottom. Couple of numbers. And there's some numbers on the top. Nice and simple, that one. Then we have this one, which is just going completely mad. Big, massive katakana dinka sitting on there on the side, front, everywhere. In fact, this is the Flash Cup. So again, this is like some sort of like little racing version of it. Again, it's this thing. I really think that Rockstar should just like take some cars that are already in the game and just add some more liveries and cool racing tuning options for them, because it just really fits in with the lore really nicely. And then we have this one, which is basically just like, it still keeps all the sponsorship things, but it just gets rid of the massive katakana dinka thing. Then we have this one, which is like a negative space version, so most of it is black, and then we could probably change the color of those stripes. Then we have this one. Nice. Simple. What else is going on here? This looks very similar to the first one. Oh, actually, it's because we're in white. They are actually white little logos going around there. If we had a different color, a darker color, that livery would look pretty nice. Should we change the color so it's just not so monochrome? Here we are. Something like the Shadow Silver, which actually, can I just say, really awesome color. That is the sort of color you would expect to see the car in as well. So actually, now that I've changed the color, let's just go for it again. As you can see, that's what it looks like with the different colors going on right here. This one actually didn't change the white at the top. It changed that stripe, which is pretty cool. Didn't expect that. There we go. There's that one done. This one actually has the white with the color in the middle. This one has a black with the color in the middle. Again, that would probably look better with a better color, but there is some artifacting on the white there, so not entirely sure on that one. Then we have this one, again, which is like the opposite version of that. Then with basically just different ways that you can have the color put into that one. This one is pretty basic. It just has Auto's tuning division. That's pretty much it. So that's just a nice little basic tuner streetcar thing with a couple of little sponsors on the side. Then we have this one. Now, this looks a bit more like original things that you might get at a dealership. Like a special version. So we've got the FLSH, not entirely sure. Oh, it's a Flash. Of course it is. That's sort of like a stylized thing on the Flash. I get it. Then we have this one. Ah, here we go. This looks nice and standard. We've got this nice black plastic striping going across on the bumpers as well. Dual overhead cam, sports, dinka, Flash. Then we have this one. Oh, I like actually, because that's going to be a bottom black on the thing. That's going to be a nice two-tone. But I am noticing that the bonnet is black as well. Ah, I tell you what, that'd have been so much cooler if we could have got rid of that black bonnet, actually. Then we have this one. Really nice. This nice, simple red stripe. Very sort of 80s, 90s looking on that one. Again, we've got a white version of that one, black version, and a grey version. Oh, and a blue version. Was that purple? Bluey purple. Then we have this one, which is basically just like a darker bottom end. How does that work? Let's just change the paints again. Okay, so it is actually supposed to look like a grey bumper thing, but it is kind of shiny, so it doesn't look like plastic, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice if we could have made that a bit more matted. Let's actually just go back and see how that other livery looked like as well. There we go. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, man, if we can get rid of that black bonnet, that would look so perfect. That is really nice with the bottom detail. I tell you, I do like that, though. With the Flash going on, or the black version. I'm liking that. And then we have this one again, TC14, really nice old school style lettering. We have another one, DOHC, nice simple racing style one. And then we've got a ratty one as well. We've got some nice rust coming up over there. A bit of a repeating texture on that bottom bit. That's kind of, oh, my OCD's kicking in. Makes me want to get rid of some of those. But it's got also like paint faded. In fact, this would look really good if we were to go back to paints and get us a nice matted colour. In fact, actually, this is probably what Menu's worn paints were made for. Yeah, look at that. That is absolutely perfect. All of these colours just work. I mean, we could go for something quite colourful, but I'm thinking something like, there's the white or the off-white. Is there actually a grayer? Well, we've got graphite, steel grey. The steel grey. I mean, this is pretty much turning out like the car that I made when I was doing the pictures on Twitter. Let's just go back to the liveries here. I think there might be a couple more. Of course there is. There's this one. So we've got the faded version of that graphic as well. And then we have this one to finish. Another faded one with the black bottom on it. Good God, this is amazing. This looks so cool. I mean, it is taken from another game. This is the Ibishu Corvette from BeamNG, but it fits this game so nicely. I tell you, I really do love this livery with sort of all the faded and stuff. So damn cool. It makes it look like a ratty race car, little street race car. And again, true to the style of this car, the engine noise matches perfectly. Proper Honda style sounding engine on this one. And this is pretty much how I was enjoying the driving. I was definitely going a lot slower. And here we are, driving nicely just as I was yesterday. In fact, I'm going to do one more thing. Actually, let's just find a nice, stable bit of road that isn't too busy. In fact, I'm going to park up here because I'm pretty sure people are going to be able to go past me. I'm just going to go ahead and go to V-stance. I'm not going to camber this. I'm going to do this in a very similar way that I did in the when I was just driving around and I posted those pictures on Twitter. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to keep the camber as it is. I'm going to knock that out a little bit, but I'm also going to lower it down. So let's go and lower it down first, like that. Then we'll knock that in, just there, just so it's a little bit lower than it already is, and just make the wheels just look a little bit closer to the arches. Again, we'll knock that down, right there. Then we can go for a little bit. There we go. We just go one on the rear, and it just sort of slams it down. We could probably actually go up a little bit, like that. And there we go. That, to me, looks like the perfect ratty street racer car from the 90s. Absolutely love this thing. So there we go, guys. 3 awesome, lore-friendly cars for GTA 5. I am really just, I'd say that I think that the lore-friendly mods for GTA 5 are so much better than just some, like, I mean, I still appreciate the mods, but I'd rather play around with this than some sort of like high poly version of a Ferrari or whatever random supercar someone might make. They're still cool. I've never actually done a video on all the sort of like really nice high quality models for cars around, so I might actually do one of those in the future. But I still think these mods are the coolest because these ones fit into the game. When you've got a car that is not really fitted for the game and it spawns in, it sort of ruins the experience for you. You're driving along, the next minute we've got this super shiny high poly Ferrari sticking out Koenigsegg that really does not fit in with the rest of the game. Whereas this is perfect. This is the sort of mod that I love. In fact, I would like you guys to let me know in the comment section below, first of all, which one of these 3 mods do you think is the best, or which build do you think of mine was the best? And then whether you prefer these sort of mods or the sort of real car mods. I mean, sometimes they're pretty fun. Sometimes you get some cars that are just really well detailed, and I have got a few of those to be checking out very soon. But this sort of stuff, to me, is just the best. These are the mods that have longevity. It's sort of like the 4-pack or Pack IV, Pack 4 mod, however I call it. The ones that can take... Whoa! Was that a cop? Nope, that's definitely not a cop. For some reason, with that tone of thing, I thought there was some sort of like cop taking a picture of the guy's number plate. I guess that's just a guy pulled over, broken down or something. Anyway, I think that these are the mods that have longevity. These are the ones that you can stick in your game and forget about, and they just look like they belong in the game, and that is why I love them. But that's going to be it for this rather long video. I hope it hasn't been too long. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.